Welcome back, everyone. This week we're going to talk about some of the great items available in the Sale-a-Bration catalog. Now, you don't have a lot of time left to earn one of these free items. There's only 2 weeks left in February, and after February, they're gone. I did want to talk a little bit about how Sale-a-Bration works. So for every $50 purchase, you can get a level 1 item for free, which includes paper, stamp sets, this really pretty ombre paper that we're going to be looking at today. And then there are 2 level 2 items which require a $100 purchase. And actually, there's some of my favorite items in the Sale-a-Bration catalog. It's the Touch of Ink set and the Berry Blessings bundle, which is the stamp set and the paper. And this coordinates with, in the mini catalog, the sweet strawberry bundle. Now, this is currently back ordered just because of the punch. You can order the stamp set right now, but they coordinate. It's a really pretty set. This should be available next week. So if you want to put in an order and get this as part of your $50, and then you can select the Berry Blessing set for free. So please take advantage. If you were just thinking about making an order and didn't have any plans to do so, now is a great time to get that order in. So we're going to be making a card today, and then I'm going to show you some of the samples I have from all the amazing Sale-a-Bration items I received. So we're going to look at Berry Blessings. Now I'm going to highlight the stamp set and this gorgeous paper. Now, you know I'm a big purple fan, so we're going to be using these purple berries. I think they're supposed to be blackberries. Now, let me show you the sample first. Now, I used some of the basic white cards and envelope set. Now, this is a great purchase if you're just started out with card making, you don't have a lot of supplies, you've already got the cards and the envelopes. So this is a great way to start out, so I'm going to use that. Now, I used the back side of this paper. We've got this beautiful purple. Now, also, if you noticed, I lined it with the Blackberry Bliss cardstock. And that's one of the nice things about Stampin' Up! Is that they tell you what colors are in what paper, so you know you don't have to think about what ink to use, what color cardstock to use. So we're going to make a similar card, but we're going to use this side of the paper. Now I have my card base. We're going to fold this, burnish it with our bone folder. Although I'm going to open it up to glue. Okay. And then I have my Blackberry Bliss cardstock, which we're going to glue here. But before we do that, I'm going to show you a trick. I had stamped the greeting, wishing you the very best, and punched it out using my favorite punch, which if you saw my punches video, you know that. So it's a bit of a paper saving trick. We know this is going to line the card. Okay. But I'm going to take this, I'm going to cut it in half, and we're going to use it to give a little bit of border. I'm just going to grab my silicone craft sheet so I don't get glue everywhere, which I did yesterday because I wasn't using it, and that was a bad idea. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue. This is a new bottle, so it's going to squish over. Okay, the nice thing about the silicone craft sheet, glue will not stick to it, so I can just brush off the dried glue when I'm done. Now, let's see. The nice thing about the liquid glue is that I can shift this until I get in position I want. I have a little bit too much glue because, as I said, new bottle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a wipe. If you get it right away, it comes off really easily. And then we're going to do the other side. Hopefully not get so much glue out of here. And do that same thing. Line it up. Put it how we want it. Use the wipe to wipe off the excess glue. And I've got this pretty bordered label. just gonna set that aside, let it dry. Now what we're gonna do is adhere the cardstock to the card base. Put a little bit of glue on the edges. We don't need that center because it's going to get covered up by that pretty designer series paper. Now just be careful to line it up. This cardstock is cut exactly the dimensions of the front of the card, which is 5 inches by 3.5. Okay, let it dry a second. And then the designer series paper is cut at 1/4 inch smaller. So it's 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. And by doing that, we're going to get a nice little border all around. Same thing. Just going to put a little glue on the edges because you don't want to make a mess like I just did. And then we're going to line this up. Make sure we get the border we want and press it down. And because the berries are facing this way, this is this kind of a card as opposed to this kind of a card. So when I adhere this, I'm going to put it over here. So we're just going to add some dimensionals to the back. I like to put dimensionals on the edges, one in the center, just so we get an even amount. My hands are a little sticky. Okay, so now we have Wishing You the Very Best. I'll put it around here. So we've got that pretty border around it. And then a trick I did here is I'm going to use some of that designer paper to line the flap of our envelope. So this is the other half of that. Remember, it's double-sided paper. I could use either side. I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to put it right on the envelope. I do want to say this new paper, the basic white paper, I actually like the feel of it better than the Whisper White. It's a little bit of a cooler white as well. So I'm actually really enjoying the feel of it and working with it. So we're going to adhere that paper to the flap. And all you need to do is just take your scissors and carefully cut around the edges. And these are the scissors I use when I've got glue involved. I don't want to get glue on my paper snips. And then you have this beautiful coordinated envelope that goes with this adorable card. And that is using our Berry Blessing set with the coordinating designer series paper. This paper is just gorgeous. So I'm just going to put those off to the side because I want to show you some of the other cards I've made using the Sale-a-Bration items. And the star of the show really is this ombre paper. Now, if you saw my unboxing video a few weeks ago, and I have another unboxing video coming out this week as well, I just fell in love with this paper, especially because it's some of my favorite colors. And this is that Blackberry Bliss, Bermuda Bay, and once again, the color coordination, which I'll show you these examples because it's very obvious here. So the pink is Rococo Rose, and this is the Bermuda Bay. Now, the cardstock is the same color, coordinates beautifully. The ink is the same color, coordinates beautifully. The stamp set I used is another Sale-a-Bration item, the Heal Your Heart. That thank you, the font is just gorgeous. It's understated, and especially in the combination with this color palette and this card, the ombre paper, it just looks stunning. The other stamp set I used here is the Corner Bouquet. And actually, what I think I'm going to end up using this a lot for is the insides of cards, because I just love how that just little peak on the side there, it just gives some beautiful something something to that inside of the card. So if you don't necessarily know what you want to do, it's a really quick way. And once again, all the colors, they match beautifully. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you is that same paper, as I said, the star of the show, but I'm using the Touch of Ink. Now, I will say this is probably my favorite stamp set in the whole Sale-a-Bration catalog. I loved, for here, I actually colored the butterfly with Stamping Blends, and I punched it out with the die, and then inside you can see the butterfly and the flowers, and then there's just some room over here to write a message. And then this is kind of like the inverse of that. Now this is a scrap of the paper from this card. I didn't want to waste the scrap, and by using the coordinating cardstock, the color, it just makes this impact. Now when I stamped the butterfly, I didn't intended to color it, but I just loved how it looked in black and white against that beautiful dark purple. And simple, used a scrap to give some dimension to the inside, and stamped the leaves from this stamp set. Now I also used the pearls. This is also in the pastel pearls. It's in the mini catalog. Right now it's once again on back order. They're a great set, and I'm not surprised people are buying them. And then my last project, I used the double heart punch and the Always in My Heart set, which is also in the mini catalog, for this beautiful sentiment. And once again, color coordination, Rococo Rose cardstock, the Rococo Rose ombre paper, and some excess scrap from here, and then a scrap and a little bit from here, so there's plenty of room to write. Now this Always in My Heart could be a sympathy card, could be a birthday card, could be a thinking about you card. There's so many things you can do with it, so it's not just a Valentine's set. So with these Sale-a-Bration items, I have made about 10 cards only with using Sale-a-Bration stuff. Now, remember, it only goes until February 28th. You only have 2 weeks left to place an order. Now, this is my host code. The link will be in the description that you can just click on it, and it should already fill the host code in for you. If you have questions, if you're wondering what to order, is it your first time card making, just leave me a comment or send me an email, and I can give you some ideas and how supplies to get started. You don't need a lot, just some coordinating cardstock, maybe some cards and envelopes, ink, and a stamp set, and you are good to go. All right, everyone, have a great day and stamp on.